Crap, I feel like slouching, so. There we go. So who hasn't seen this game yet? So jealous it's raining in Vancouver, like right now, like always. You know, it's kind of funny. I think it was orange_TJ I was talking to on Discord, who was just like, how's the new place so far? I'm like, 10 degrees and sunny. He's like, it's still snowing. It's been 2 weeks, because Orange is in Montreal. I'm like, well, this is why the greater Vancouver area hates us. I remember getting real annoyed living in Surrey because my older sister would be like, oh, you know, it's sunny in Nanaimo. Like, well, fuck you then. Is it like DF? No, but historically, yes. So here, I'll just open up the Steam page real quick. This is it. First off, it has a free demo, so you should try the demo if you're even remotely interested in it. The demo has like the first several years of gameplay, so you could easily play the demo for like 3 hours and not run out of stuff to do. So you'd have a pretty good idea of whether or not you want to play it. And if you play it on slow speed, that might get you through like the demo in like 5 hours, 6 hours-ish, depending on how much you pause. It's kind of like a God game. It is a town builder. There's no like tunneling, i.e. Dwarf Fortress. It was originally an ASCII game as well. If you actually go look up Goblin's Lot, someone is still developing it, but not the original developer. It is a town builder with God game mechanics, but also a lot of under the hood systems. It's got really interesting water physics. It's got seasonal flooding. The battles are pretty one note right now. You do get attacked. You don't have any direct control of your citizens. So it's similar to Dwarf Fortress in that way. But gameplay-wise, it's closer to like an Anno or something, where you place buildings and it sets up production chains based on the buildings that are built. But you can issue orders for certain types of buildings. And you have a singular goblin who's your shaman. And your shaman gets powers. And you, I mean, if you just look at the gameplay here, that's playing music underneath it. I really wish that full screening videos on Steam wouldn't, like, you know, unmute them. But this is the trailer, so you'll see a bunch of different scenes. That's what the combat looks like. There's little goblins running around. There is a tech tree in this game, but it suits the game quite well, so I don't mind it, because it's just an individual map game, right? But the reason I kind of compare it with God games is there are magic spells that that allow you to do some pretty black and white-ish things. You can, like, if you have a big fire that's breaking out, you can, like, put the fire out using a water spell. You can manipulate the earth with your magic powers. You can, like, as you chop down trees, you release the tree spirits, and then you can request the tree spirits work for you for a month. Is it a losing is fun type of game? I mean, isn't every game kind of that? What do you mean by losing is fun in this instance? Because it's not Dwarf Fortress. If you want that, go play Dwarf Fortress, right? It's not Dwarf Fortress. It's a pretty different game. I mean, I like it. Elfie likes it. Elfie has 45 hours. Jeez, Elfie. Calm down. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by losing is fun. Do you mean, like, is death inevitable? Is that what you're asking? I mean, I haven't lost yet. I started over because I felt like I hit a lot of bottlenecks. But no, not really. Not really. Anonymous, thanks for gifting us up to Bastet. Welcome back to the lands of the beard. B-E-E-R-D. Edie, maybe? It's closer to black and white, and black and white really isn't a losing is fun. Actually, to me, I think it's closer to a populace, maybe even, than a black and white. There's a post on that I think is really funny, which some of you guys might find funny too, on the... Shit, what's the name of that? Game Jolt page for this game from 2011. Oh no, YouTube chat, if you're talking, I can't see what you're saying because YouTube has crashed. It's okay. Nobody's said anything since the game switched, so Have I played Terraria? Unfortunately, yes. I suffered through a couple games of Terraria and very much disliked it. I don't like it. Terraria was like the solidification for me that I don't like open world survival crafting games. I'm just waiting for these ads to end. But no, I'll tell you this, someone over there. There's only one game I've ever played that is truly a losing is fun type of game, and that is Dwarf Fortress. Every other game that has taken that moniker and ran with it hasn't managed to make losing fun. This is more of a building game, like a chill building game. And then when you start to run into problems, you start over type game. Not that type of game. If you want that type of game, play Dwarf Fort. There's a reason I'm not playing Dwarf Fortress, and I'm playing this. It's because it's different. If it was just doing what Dwarf Fortress was doing, I would just go play Dwarf Fortress. It's the reason I don't play Timberborn, is because it just makes me want to play Dwarf Fort. Does anybody else run into that with games? Open question. I'm also trying desperately right now to keep conversations going, because y'all keep falling asleep. I get it, it's late for some of you. But like, do you ever run into that? Where you find a game that you like, and then somebody says, is it like this game? It's like, well, if it was like that game, I would just go play that game. I don't understand why people, it's like, I have this problem with like, a lot, like, I don't understand, I understand, I wish more people felt this way, I guess, about open world survival crafting games. Because there's always like open world survival crafting games that come out, and all the streamers get paid to play it, and then they play it for like a week because it's new and shiny, and then the game shuts down in 6 months because nobody kept playing it. Because they just realized, oh, it's Rust, but, or, oh, it's Scum, but, or, oh, it's, Arc, but. Yeah, I feel like a lot of, like, deck builders run into this problem. Had that with a lot of new extraction shooters. It's like, why not just go play Tarkov? Yeah, true. Yeah. Just make you want to go back to Subnautica? Sure, totally. I mean, that's how I feel about games that are like Dwarf Fortress. Every time I play a game that's just like, it's Dwarf Fortress with, I'm like, fuck you. You're actually RimWorld with. You don't know what Dwarf Fortress is because you've never played it. Or it does enough similar things to Dwarf Fortress that I just don't want to play it. Like Going Medieval, as an example. But I feel like that's not the norm. Wait, you play Tarkov multiplayer? Well, you're playing Tarkov wrong. Sheesh. I don't play Tarkov. I think Tarkov's funny to make fun of. Yeah, and this game's unique because it feels like playing a god game from times long past. So this is a town that I started the last time I streamed this. Currently, we are building a big old wall along here, but I'll try and run through like the basic mechanics here. I'm building this palisade, and we're also adjusting the depth of the land around it to dig a bit of a moat. Now, you can raise the land and you can lower the land, but you can't tunnel into the land, at least not that I've found. Currently, we are this is my population currently. I've got 35 population, and I have enough housing for 30, so I need to build more housing. This is my kitchen space once a season, or maybe it's twice a season. Yeah, at the end of every season, they have a big old, like, meal. And they gather at these kitchens, and they eat said meal. This is my big old, like, farm plot. We've got various different construction sites. We've got a carpenter's shack. We've got a smithy. This game has nested tooltips. So if you hover over a thing, and then hover over a thing, and hover over a thing, or hover over a thing. Oops, shit, I lost it. Okay. Okay. Let's go weight, carry, hauling. Oh, excellent. I found a loop. You could just do this forever. Which, I am a simple person, and sometimes I find this very entertaining. This game does have a tutorial in it, and the tutorial's pretty good. It's very, very, very Finnish, and I don't mean it's finished. The developers are Finnish, and it's full of Finnish folklore. So I'll just let those disappear for a bit. But the game is full of Finnish folklore. If you look at the descriptions of basically anything, it's going to have little Finnish proverbs, which I find very, very endearing. So we've got goblins fishing. If you ask the goblins to make something or do something, they will go gather the necessary materials. The problem is certain items take a while to create. So like if you get something that needs a clay pot, then they have to go make a clay pot, which requires them getting raw clay. But in the stocks manager down here, which is this, you can tell them to keep a surplus of an item. So in this case, as example, earthenware pot, which I currently have a stockpile of 9. I can increase that to 10. Then they'll make sure there's always 10 in the inventory, because a lot of things require earthenware pots, including putting out fires. Clay is another thing that takes a little while to gather and isn't always available because it floods in the spring. My clay collection zone. So I'm telling them to keep some of that in case we run out of pots and then they need to make more. Items every summer during midsummer are sacrificed to the gods through a big bonfire. This is my bonfire. Fire spreads quickly, sparks ignite things, and so you want fire away from stuff. So I have this gravel pit over here, which is where this fire is. The game moves pretty quick, even on the slowest speed, but that being said, we're under attack. So I will leave this pause for a second. We're getting attacked by wolves, it looks like. Soldiers automatically attack whatever's attacking you. So I don't actually need to do anything here. If I press F, I can make the tops of the trees go away. Thankfully, I do have a guard post right here, which is my pre-armed goblin. And the goblins will grab whatever's around that they can whack a thing with. In this case, it appears to be a big stick, which is very efficient. I can't rename them, which is the most unplayable part of this game right now. So they grab big stick and then they go beat the goblins. The little stars means they're leveling up. They do gain titles based on the jobs that they've done. And a lot of these are thirsty and hungry and not in the best of ways. These are not great weapons, and there's a lot of wolves, but fortunately, we will get some meats when they die, and we can turn them into wolf steaks and turn their pelts into leather, if I've researched leather yet, which I can't remember. So the combat's pretty simple. Some of them are scared, and they'll just run away and cower instead of, fighting the enemy, but the game's pretty automated in that way, which I don't mind. I think it suits it. I quite like the fact that I don't need to micromanage everything, but this is the most important thing in the game. This is your sacrificial tree. This is something that you get at the very beginning. This is how you progress in this game. Every year, like I said, you sacrifice stuff to the gods. In this case, the stuff I'm sacrificing, we just did that because we're in winter, but I got ceremonial fish, which cost me food supply. I've got ceremonial spears, which have cost me wood, ceremonial wolf meat, as well as wooden crafts. And there's a bunch of them that they are queued up to make every year. And then as they fill this stockpile up, if I click sacrifices, it'll actually tell me how much culture I'm going to get for this. So in order to level up the tree, I need more culture. So it tells you how much you get per item that gets put into it, and the current amount that you have. So I'm currently going to get none from bone idols because I don't have any bone idols. Same with bird meat. Birds attack you if you have farm fields, so when your farms are blooming, then you get those. We've also got these little wooden crafts and whatnot. These are what I'm being required to make, so I should probably queue some of these up. I currently have 10 queued up, but we'll get there when they get there, because we have until next fall for it to be done. So you can just pre-stockpile your sacrifices for the summer, but you're basically spending the whole year balancing your food, balancing your housing, balancing your goblins in general, while also keeping an idea in the back of your head of when am I going to, or what am I going to sacrifice to the gods this year? And I didn't hold down shift, so that got deleted because I'm in Dwarf Fortress mode right now. That's kind of the game loop in simple terms. Like I said, though, it has a demo, and if you want a really good idea of what the game loop is, check out the demo. I'm going to conscript some spirit, or rather, I would conscript some spirits, but I can't because I don't have enough of the, Vuki? I don't even finish. I get this stuff per month from the tree, plus an additional 2 from the tree, and that's what I use to cast spells. Otherwise, I would conscript some spirits to help me work on some stuff. They've been helping me build this wall the whole time, but they keep timing out, which is, typical. Are you punished for not sacrificing? You don't progress. You don't get any additional points to spend in your technology tree, basically. Or your speed at which you accrue points for your tech tree is lowered. So currently, how much research is it getting me per year? 2 research points per year. So currently I get 2 tech points per year to spend on my technology tree because my tree's level. Currently I have 4 tech points. So I could unlock smoking. I could unlock planks, which I think would give me better houses, which I should probably get. I could unlock leather, but I can't unlock spinning, which is a prereq for leather. Basically, like, leveling up your tree slower allows you to progress through the tech tree slower. Kind of grimdark? Isn't it grimdark in Finland most of the year? Yeah, it's like buying the vegan mac and cheese that just doesn't hit right, you know? That's a good example, actually, Synthplace. But this game has some similar ideas, as in it came from a similar era. And the Game Jolt review that I started talking about earlier and then like spaced on. The reason I really like the Game Jolt review for this game, the original open source version that was ASCII, is they call it, it's like Dwarf Fortress with good controls. Because it was an ASCII game, but it had mouse controls. Which I find very funny in the current era. But it never had Z levels in the olden days. It was always like just a top-down little god game town builder thing with walkers and that kind of style of building. Also, Hobo, since you're here, could you do me a favor and shut off the Dwarf Redemption so that nobody redeems it? And maybe the save thing too, because that doesn't really do anything in this game. This game autosaves constantly. But all in all, I mean, this is a very different kind of game than Dwarf Fortress. There's nothing to name in this game. Like, I can't even name shacks. I complained to the developers that I couldn't rename anything, but Hempo is my hard-blooded shaman right now. But, you know, since we're no longer playing Dwarf Fort, and I know for a fact that a lot of you are no fun, and have already tuned out. I'm going to thumb my nose to those of you who have already tuned out. To those of you who are still here, the more active the chat stays, the longer the stream goes. The quieter the chat stays, the shorter the stream goes. I realize it's late for some of you, so if you can't talk, don't. That's fine. But that is the thing that you can do to help me right now. Rounds of beers are not, you know, helpful in any way in this instance. Just keeping the conversation going is helpful. What's up, Dan's Labyrinth? I mean, people would rather do something that is proven successful consistently, Lucreus, than things that are not proven successful consistently. It's also easier to get investing money when you're trying to do something that's already a proven, consistent success. If they don't have enough food variety, they will get scurvy, which is kind of funny, in my opinion. But let's go down here and unlock planks, which will give me wooden bucket, wooden plank, wooden shield, which also unlocks basic armor. So now I can queue up planks, and let's just say, make me 40 planks. That's kind of a lot sounding, but basically everything uses planks. Them getting scurvy is hilarious. Scurvy in and of itself, not very funny. Oh yeah, also snow piles up. And sometimes it piles up more than others, which is one of the reasons why you do want to actually make a moat. Because if the snow piles up too much, then, you know, things will be able to just walk over stuff. It's actually kind of funny that in some ways they move faster when there's snow, it seems. Unless I'm seeing things. Did I meet the goal today? Barely. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to bitch about it anymore because I did in fact meet it, but it's been a slow day. It's okay though. I'm just kind of hoping that we'll continue doing okay, albeit slow. I'm running low on tools, eh? Digging sticks. I only have 1 digging sticks. Oh no. Well, we should make more digging sticks, you slowpokes. I do hope that we'll make up for that a little bit as we go today. I'm also just going to get rid of these 2 simple shacks because I probably have better housing I can make now. I don't see any goats. You know, I'm not gonna lie. The goat makes sense to me. You know, like the greatest of all time or the game of the year or whatever. Makes sense. Goated? I don't get. That term makes me feel old. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I have to weed out the children from my fan base so that I can truly be safe interacting with my audience. Such is life. That isn't a question that I'm going to answer. And if you have to answer as to why, if you have to think about that question, then like, let's just move on. The amount of things that could be taken out of context if that continues any further, Zalvi. So is there interaction with some other kinds of factions? Well, there's the ghosts and the spirits. This game only released like what, November? So it hasn't been in early access that long, and this is a rebuild of not an early access game, a open source game, but they started developing this in like during the pandemic, right? So this hasn't actually been in development all that long. If you're too young to watch this stream, you're a child. Get away. And anybody under the age of 18 is, according to Twitch terms of services, too young to watch this stream. Yeah, and everything is taken out of context when you stream on the internet. Hey, chat. What did Bastet post? Not only are you guys falling asleep, but you're also like not even posting beards when people say, Jesus. Now we're talking. Okay. Catching up. Figuring it out. One day at a time. There's so many branches in this goddamn stockpile. So when you screw up, enemies attack you. There's wildlife that attacks you. There's zombies that attack you, which are apparently a placeholder enemy. But by screw up, I mean bring imbalance. From what I can tell, the zombies attack you if you lose too much stuff to decay. So if you're like unable to maintain stockpiles and storage space for all your stuff and stuff starts decaying, then that seems to contribute to this. Zombies attacking. So I just lost some food to decay, and now we appear to be getting attacked by zombies. Because of my poor management. So I'm getting punished by the wild because, you know, of my poor management. Thankfully, they have wax stick, and some of them have spears. The good news is you get bones from this, and these are important. Synth plays, jeez.
Synth_plays_cheered. X5000. Been sick for 3 days and been watching you to get by. Got paid today, so here is a thank you from me.
Happy to help, mate. Appreciate you. Thanks for the $50. Means a lot, dude. It's mostly, I hate February. I'll be honest with you. Because February is a month where all the bills are the same amount as all months, except you have less time to complete them. Which I hate about February. I can't be the only person who feels that way about February. Speaking of, let's not enslave. Let's request some spirits to come help me put stuff away. Go put my stuff away, please. Well, that's not where I was expecting them to go, but hey. Looks like they're putting all these twigs away and branches. They seem to just funnel in one direction. Like I said, there's a lot of things in this right now that are very... This is a thing that's a work in progress. What's here and what's interesting to me about this game is the systems that it's got under the hood. Like, the combat is not the draw here at all. The combat is a means to an end right now. It may end up being more than that, but for me anyway, the combat is a means to an end, not the draw. As in, like, you need bones to make bone crafts for sacrifices. And I keep hitting Dwarf Fortress hotkeys. Stop it. Like, you need bones, which I currently have 45 of, apparently, to make things like bone idols. Jess, thank you very much for the raid. What's up? And then these are sacrificed to, you know, make me points so that I can level up my tree faster. I get bones from things attacking me. Does that make sense? Bonitis. Bonitis? Bon appetits. Let's also increase the number of ceremonial fish we output. I need to make a nettle workshop. Did I ever research those? Jess, how was the stream today? What were you up to? This is a little bit of Goblin Camp, which I only just turned on. It's a nifty little game. It's very god-gamey. If you're like me and you have a constant need that cannot be sated by any other game because you just desperately wish that somebody would make another black and white, this kind of scratches that itch a little bit. Certainly, yeah, and it's all part of the balance, because if you get attacked too much, then things go wrong, right? What are you trying to get to? Or did I block a building? More importantly, how did I block a building? Wait, so 2 doors can't be in exactly the same spot? Today I learned. Huh. Well, I can just demolish this. Move it slightly. Also, Elfie Bean raided me? I just got raided by Elfie Bean and Jess. Well, congratulations. That's all of the raids. This kind of scratches the God game itch in that it's a town builder that requires the use of magic spells and indirect control to play. You give them loose orders and most tasks are automated. The only thing you can really do with your goblins is telling them to stockpile specific items. But aside from that, they mostly just kind of operate of their own volition. Yeah, I mean, what? Looking at the recency of when that happened. Yeah, I mean, within the last hour, we got all the raids, yeah. I got all of the Infinity Stones. Oh my god, I'm a Marvel hero. That's what they did, right? I also need to queue up shields. I need a fishing workshop, I need a fishing workshop, and I need a nettle processing workshop. I'm building both of those things, okay, game? Calm down. Let's also jump over here and type in... Actually, no, not you. I need the stock manager. And I need to grab shield. Can I not make that stuff yet? I thought that I unlocked that. Oh, I also need armor. Okay. Thanks for the shoutouts for Alfie Bean. Which would be this. Well, we'll get there. Although the good question is, how's my fire pit doing? I do require a claycraft in order for the midsummer stuff to be completed. Come on, friends. I may have just queued up way too many tasks. Let's go to the... No, not this. This. Priorities. Is there a dig? Priority? I do need till farm plot to be a higher priority. You know what? I'm just going to go all the way along here and clear all this. Cancel order. Let's let them finish this side, but forget about that side. Thankfully, the fishing stuff is all up and running again. Primarily just need you to go do the pottery stuff. Or play Keeper RL. I was very whelmed by Keeper RL. I really wanted to like Keeper RL, but something about it just felt... And I hate saying this out loud, so I'm always a little sad when people bring this game up. It felt too simple. If that makes any sense. Like, it just wasn't doing enough for me to really want to play it. You have an absurd amount of time in this game compared to me already, Elfie. Although I'll tell you this, I haven't been able to consistently get farms to work, so let's see if things work this time around. I have all the required tools. There we go. We're finally making the thing we need. My little claycraft goblin. Did you just, like, run into the... That's a little distressing. Like, literally, like, that goblin just went and dove into this. The way that they put stuff into the campfire is disturbing. If they light it at a bad time, that might be dangerous, man. Sometimes they take an additional year to make a harvest. Oh, I mean, I've learned to not depend on it, I guess. Let's make some nicer houses over here. That'll queue up the number of jobs pretty considerably, but then I can start demoing these houses. Yeah, but I don't think I've gotten a harvest yet, and this is like year 3 of having this farm field. But we'll see. I should have digging sticks. I have 7 digging sticks. So they should do the farming thing. I also really need to make them roads, but could just use deck board. At the very least for, like, these areas. I don't know. All I can say is those are the biggest and tastiest looking hazelnuts I've ever seen, and I'll be honest with you, I've also never seen purple hazelnuts. Granted, I've also never seen pink goblins, so, you know, I guess nothing is sacred. The thing is, though, it's not a simple shorter DF. To me, it like, Keeper RL doesn't feel like Dwarf Fortress to me at all. Well, I mean, I guess it does in that there are people that you can control. To me, it's trying to be Dungeon Keeper, really, which I guess I just deleted my stockpile, which I guess is similar. Apparently, like, trying to claim items breaks your stockpile. Unless I click the wrong button, which is possible. But to me, it didn't feel like a simpler, shorter DF. It felt like a game that just made me go, why don't I just go play Dungeon Keeper? Like, it was doing enough interesting things to stand out and make me play it, but didn't stick the landing enough that I kept playing it. And also, all these blue flowers are coming from my trees. So yeah, I don't like talking about Keeper RL because I want people to play that game because I think it's a really cool little video game. I just was bored after 6 hours. I really like the visuals of this game. I think that, like, I really wish some of the assets were a little higher res. Because it feels a little washed out in places, but... maybe there's too much shade. I've never been attacked by birds in this particular attempt, but here, I'll clear the flora and the fauna there. But we're about to reach harvesting season, so we'll find out. How much are we up to? We are up to 94 culture points for the year, so that's pretty good. Yeah, trust me, I would have noticed at this point if I got attacked by giant storks. Oh shit, we're in ads. Also, hitting escape doesn't pause the game. Just throws me off. Have I ever heard of a 404X? Yes. Yeah, I have no interest in playing Aurora. Like, I've learned over the years, I don't like streaming 4X games. And Aurora very much, well, it's right in the name. So... although I respect Aurora from a very safe distance. Cranes eat your stuffs? How many... I feel like if I started running into problems with cranes, I would just, like, you know, surround my farm fields and guard towers and just be like, get wrecked! But yeah, no, I've played Aurora before. Aurora's... you know, if you've ever wanted to just, like, specify the material for the bullets that you're going to manufacture for the spaceships that you're going to send, that it's going to take 6 months to build each individual spaceship, and you need to build 45 of them, so you're going to just, like, spin up a whole bunch of factories in the asteroid belts so that you can then, like, make sure that you can take out the pirates that have been harassing some planet that is 2 light years away. Like, sure, it's great for that. It's like Stellaris for crazy people, although that's almost already Stellaris on its own. Oh, look at this. They're planting stuff. Well, that's cool. It's like Stellaris for crazy people. And for that, I respect it. Respect it. However, I also don't want to play Stellaris, so... I am running out of food, though. Let's just make another fisher so that another goblin goes and does that job. Go stab a spear in the general direction of the water, please. Did they go after my farmlands before? In the first playthrough, I did. Not in this one. They go after your fields right as they're starting to, like, bloom. It's also neat, because you have to leave a portion of them to flower to get seeds back the next year. So you, like, have to decide how much of your plants you're willing to not harvest. This is definitely the biggest sacrifice I've ever been done. But once we hit midsummer, they will... beginneth with the sacrifices. I'm also going to demo this shack, because we're about to have another one here. Once they're finished, you know, summoning the structure of the shack from the Grimdark down below. You just never heard me mention it. I try to not talk shit about games that I theoretically like, that I know people like. And... I got this comment a while ago, Gronzi, on a VOD. And it was a person saying, why does blind hate everything? And I'm pretty sure it was in... I can't even remember what game it was. It might have been in reference to, like, Timberborn. Which isn't a bad game. Like, it's a totally fine game. It's just not a game I want to play. It was either that or, like, Oxygen Not Included. Which, again, not a bad game. It's just not a game I want to play. And it was... because I was basically explaining why a game wasn't for me. Like, in the case of Oxygen Not Included, that game's not for me because dupes are a replenishable, disposable resource. I want my little characters to have some impact when they die, at least in a game that's like that. And even this game has that to an extent. Because they gain little names and titles, and if they die, that kind of sucks, because then you have to get new ones, and it takes a little while for them to specialize again. I never, ever, ever felt that, even with, like, the finished versions of, like, the 1.0 version of Oxygen Not Included. And I didn't like where the difficulty was in that game. And so if I have a game that I've played, and I've played enough to know that it's not for me, I generally don't bring it up. Because I don't want... I don't want to discourage other people from trying something they might like, you know? I mean, RimWorld just comes up 5 times a day, so like that one, I don't really have the ability to say anything else about it because it just comes up so often. What I like to play? You know, I ask myself that many times a week. The enemies just walk around your walls. I also have not played enough of this game to really give you concrete answers on a lot of things. So I would say if you want to try and get concrete answers, go download the demo and try it. Because this game is very generous with its demo. It's the first 4 years. So you can get almost as far in as I have in this playthrough. And as far as I got in my first playthrough. And watch your tree grow, as I am, for free. So... nah, I'm good. As far as CRPGs go. And my tree levels up, which grows my garden bigger. It's almost like the Borgs, or the what's it called? The creep in StarCraft. If I were to go play, like, a classic game, I'd be more likely to go play, like, a Daggerfall. Mod the crap out of it. But I don't really have the desire to. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm weird. You know what I do like? I like arcadey snowboarding games. Like, that's what I like. I was playing a bit of SSX Tricky off stream over the weekend. I'm starting to see plants I've never seen before. Bloodberry bush, what is this? Can I harvest these? Yeah, there's no digging into the ground like going medieval. This is closer to a populace or a black and white. In that it's more of a god game than like a colony builder per se. Like if colony builder is a pretty strict definition here, this would be closer to a god game than a colony builder. I mean, this is going to get lumped in with colony builders all over the place, but. And in fact, I'm pretty sure they call it that. But from my perspective, this game plays and feels more like a golden era of Peter Molyneux god game than anything, is really what this game feels like to me. But try the demo because it's got the first 4 years of gameplay. And if you buy it, leave a review. Those are the 2 pieces of advice I have. Because this game kind of released to little to no fanfare. It is very much early access, though, so do keep that in mind. As in, it's got quite a lot of developing still to do. Deconstruct this. I'm going to chuck another Fisher Shack over here. Although it does update quite consistently, so. I can also go into the stocks manager here. Let's increase the number of black currants that we're trying to get. I'm just going to try and pick these bloodberries because I don't know what they are. A fresh goblin delicacy from the underworld. Oh, so my tree is starting to cause things from the goblin underworld to come to the surface. Well, that's cool. Let's queue up the bird meat and apples. I may actually need to expand my view to be able to harvest more fruits and veggies. So if I go to Raven statue, there's Raven statues and then tall Raven statues. Here, let me show you some magic. If I grab this, spells. If you place the Raven statues high up, then they get more field of view. I guess there wasn't much to do there. That already at the highest level? All right, fine then. But if you place your Raven statues really high up, and they have like a vantage point, then they see further. But they basically just expose the fog of war, I guess. And then these are discoverable sites, which have treasures in them. Some valuable, some not so valuable. But you got the normal Raven statues, and then the big Raven statues, and the big Raven statues, you know, are bigger, and you discover more. Speaking of Stronghold Crusader, I got a game for you to wish list. They remade the... All right, no, that's not it. That's the first one. So this is Stronghold Definitive Edition, right? But they're making a Stronghold Crusader Definitive Edition, which is basically they're doing what Microsoft did to Age of Empires, where they were like, yeah, let's just remake this engine from the ground up and like make the same game again. And it's largely the same development team from what I've read and what they said when I spoke to them at PAX ages ago. Like there's only like, it's like the same programmers, like the same people are still working on it. So I don't know if I'd stream that, but it's certainly on my wish list. It's forever in your core memories. Nice. Yeah, there's a game I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it because it's mostly for sickos, but there's a game that I've been very much enjoying called Tricky Madness, which is very much just a solo developer being like, I'm gonna make an SSX game that nobody else will, damn it. I'm just gonna plunk another water holder over here in case something goes horribly wrong. Now that bonfire season is over, let's make this. Let's queue up another bonfire for next year. And the goblins get to enjoy their meal. And I'm going to demand the help from the spirits. Who are hopefully going to help me construct stuff quicker. By putting all the stuff away for me. Looks like they are. So these are the tree spirits that I've freed due to cutting down the trees. Something else that I think is neat is you have this little balance thing that you need to take care of. So the keepers of the woods are pleased by your sacrifices, and there is now a slightly lower chance that your structures will catch fire. The keepers of the water are pleased. They seem to be pretty easy to please, but this is just a really intriguing mechanic. Are pleased with your sacrifices, and the fisher goblins are now slightly more likely to catch fish. You can upset the gods by using a resource and not giving sacrifices to that god, if that makes any sense. Which, I like mechanics like that in video games. That is cool. I'm also going to start building bigger kitchens. Because I can now. And these ones are going to get smallified. We're doing a bunch of construction anyway, so it's time to do it. So this will be another carpenter shack to help me get through carpentry stuff quicker. And let's also make another storage hut, because I can make bigger storehouses. I'm going to plunk one of those down here. Also, shark jumping walrus, it's good to see you, by the way. I mean, like, I'll say this, because I feel like I owe this game a favor now. Keeper RL is a game that I would recommend to a person who is looking for a game that fills the feeling of a game like Dungeon Keeper and maybe the feeling and the vibe of a game like Dwarf Fortress without the mechanical density required on the learning side. That game does have a good little variety of things to discover mechanically, and fun little options and ways to, how do I word this? Fun little options and ways to play the game. Also, it turns out they attack your walls. Today I learned. Goblins, you want to get to work? Here they come. Oh, wow, that's actually kind of a lot of zombies. Charge, boys! Charge! Stab them to death, men. And ladies. Stabby those gubbies. Or, no, stabby those zombies, gobbies. Anyways. Chat, what's a game that you don't like and you feel bad about it? Because I'm just, like, stuck on this subject now. These fancy roses. And then right here, this is the number of jobs per goblin. So if there's too many jobs per goblins, it very quickly just, like, gives you a reason as to why things are bottlenecked. And I'm going to remove a lot of stumps now. Oh no, we got weeds. On my turnip sprouts. Get over there and weed that garden. God damn it. We're getting close to harvesting season. You have too many. DF, you love watching, you hate playing. That hurts. Sag. That's not the right answer, man. Just Cause 2 taught you to play taught you can't play first-person perspective games. Huh. Did it make you motion sick or something? I fucking love Just Cause 2. The later games in that franchise made me no longer trust games like that. We're a protein deficiency. I wonder how many of them missed a meal. It certainly seemed like a bunch of them missed a meal. And let's just go here. Summon more spirits. I don't think they'll pull up stumps, though. I don't even know where they're going. Come on, get over here, you lazy spirits. Carry these wooden poles, please. Actually, am I making wooden poles? I may be bottlenecked by wooden poles. I am not. In fact, I have more than I need. Well, let's increase that number. I mean, I feel that way about CRPGs generally. Like, I often find that CRPGs are wasted on me because one of three things happens. I either turn out to be too dumb, or I turn out to not have the patience, or I forget that I'm playing them and get distracted by something else for a week and then never return to them. So I either never finish them or I'm too dumb to play them. Like, I really wish I could have finished, oh shit, what's the name of that game? The Apocalypse CRPG that isn't Fallout. Fuck. Wasteland. Wasteland 2. I bought that game for like $1 or something. And I fucking loved the first 3 hours of it, and I haven't played it since. And then after a while, I just start to feel guilty because there's such a time commitment. Says the guy who plays games that are humongous time commitments, but... Oh, the original DOS version? Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a game that exists. Up to year 6. I just need to get these stumps cleared or I'm just never going to clear them. Maybe I just shouldn't queue up all of them. Let's just go here and say cancel order and do like half of them. Sage. All right, well, let's queue these back up then. I can say hopefully the ghosts will help me now. You passed your exam? What were you, what was this exam on? What subject? Come on, little ghosties, help me fix my screw up. Yeah, we're bottlenecked by wooden poles. Which is kind of funny, but... Well, at least we're building that storage shed now. Which is good timing, because then the ghosts can help for the amount of time they stick around. It's more of a god game. So, like, if Dwarf Fortress is kind of a world simulator / colony builder or single-player RPG, this is much more of a god game because it's much more focused on influencing little characters in-game using magic spells. But it was originally a open-source ASCII game that was inspired by Dwarf Fortress at one point in time. So... in that instance, if you go look up a game called Goblin's Lot, it still exists. You can still play it. But that game has been, well, it is still being developed, but I would say it's a little bit obsolete these days due to the existence of this game. And I forgot that I put a turnip hole there. I'm going to move my turnip hole. Turnip hole sounds dirty. Right. I don't know what any of that really means. I mean, I know what FEMA is, but I don't know what those other organizations are. So, congrats on passing the exam. That's got to be a bit of a relief. Like, as an example here, I don't have any spells I can use. How much is Raise Earth? 3 spells. Three magic points for spells. How much do I need to level up my tree again? Need 100 total points. Oh, no, sorry. I need... 220. Well, let's increase this by a shit ton. Let's just do 40. 40 of these suckers. That'll get me 40 points. Bone idol. I got 37 bones. Let's do 50 bone idols if I can. Maybe not 50. Let's do 35 bone idols. And for ceremonial wooden spears, let's do 10. But check, can I get a round of beers for the suited giraffe? Depernia as well. If you have any interest in trying this game, you should check it out. It's got a free demo. It feels empty. You know what's weird? Avowed is like the only big AAA game that I think is released this year that I might actually buy and play off stream. And specifically because everything in that game that I've seen on other people's streams looks crafted. In that it looks like it was made by people. And I cannot remember the last time I saw a AAA game release that looked like it was made by people. And there's something to, like, very constructed games, I guess. Okay, we really need to cook these meals because currently my goblins are all suffering vitamin deficiencies. Specifically like users. Protein deficiency, see? But that's fair. It's good that, like, you know, people can identify why they don't like something so that they can try and solve that issue with their next purchase, right? Kind of expecting me to screw up here and these chefs are going to set my boardwalk on fire and then I'm just going to get swamped by flames, but hey, I'll be entertaining. Can always dump water on it with magic. Yeah, a bunch of these guys must have missed a meal. If they get too many debuffs stacked up, then eventually they will just stop living here and they'll just move out. So, what do I have for fish right now? Oh shit, that's probably why. Fucking increase the amount of fresh fish we're keeping. Dramatically. I thought I'd already done that. Let's also increase the amount of mushrooms we're picking, because currently we're picking none. We must keep fishing. We must. Once again, we're bottlenecked by wooden poles. Yeah, I feel like I should always just keep enough magic in the bank so that I can summon water. Which is 2 points, which is what we're at right now, so... Should always just keep it around that number, so, like, when push comes to shove, I can just be like, make water happen. I need the water, because otherwise we will be the drowning. Looks like they're also going out here and harvesting mushrooms, which is good. So what's different about this? Oh, I can store multiple weapons here, I guess. Not sure, actually. Do I still play Classic DF? Why would I play an older version of a video game? I mean, I've been playing version 47 off stream because I've been recording footage for NoClip. But why? Why would I do that? To me, there's a few small things about older versions of Dwarf Fortress that I like. But the positive things that have come in... Oh, it's raining. We've got water appearing on the ground. The positive things that have been added to the premium version heavily outweigh the negatives of the new version. Sure, but like, I have a question. This is a business for me. I kind of talked about this earlier, but this is a business for me. I make a living streaming. I've got bills to pay and now a mortgage. If I play a version of the game that significantly less people would play historically because it was harder to digest visually, would that be a wise decision? Outside of an odd novelty every now and again, which honestly I don't think is giving it enough of a respect. I think that the odd novelty for people who don't care is satisfied simply by... I think that that novelty is satisfied by simply swapping over to ASCII View every now and again. Don't compare an early access game that released 3-4 months ago into early access to the game that's been out since in some form of early access and then eventual release since 2014. That's unfair. These are very different games to RimWorld. This game feels more like a God game, whereas RimWorld is a tower defense game. So if you want to play a tower defense game, go play RimWorld with a little bit of story generation. Otherwise, it's not a fair comparison, I will say. Just like flat. Can I not deconstruct this road? I guess I have to click into it. How about when Blind says, "God damn it, game"? Well, they're not even remotely similar. Got nukes. Like, RimWorld is a combat-focused story generator. This game is a town builder that feels like a god game. So the easy kind of parallels for me to draw in my brain for this game is something closer to a Populous or a Black and White, where it's more about, there isn't really fail states that I've found so far. I'm sure you could fail if you tried hard enough, but I haven't really encountered much in the way of immediate threats. I mean, characters get scurvy. You can absolutely fail, but not in the same way RimWorld tries to kill you. This is very much a game about trying to nudge your characters in the right direction without overworking them to death so that they go nuts, I guess. It's a very different kind of game. I think it's easier to compare this to something like an Anno. Like an Anno 1404. In the way that it does its management, because it's very chain focused, where item creates item, needs other item, two items mixed together, make new item, that kind of thing. So it's like production lines and spells. No. Not that I found. Zalvi. I mean, you don't even really need to tell them to go chop down trees. They just kind of do it. Let's work on stumps over here. I say that because I just don't like talking about RimWorld, Red Fogel. I realize it's dismissive and reductive, but like, when you boil a game down to the basic sum of its parts, that's what RimWorld is. It's a game about building a base so that when things attack you, you can effectively defeat them. That is what RimWorld is. Whereas Dwarf Fortress is a game about poking the overworld in various ways. This is a game about influencing a little village of people to do approximately what you want them to do. And if you screw up in the way you build things, then their little society will collapse and then you cry. Like, as I was saying earlier, in this game, combat is a means to an end, right? You need somebody to die to unlock certain tech. Like, you need to see death to get your shaman in this game. The way you get your shaman is you need a goblin who's hard-blooded. So a goblin has to have survived winter and has to have seen something die, whether that be one of your goblins or an enemy. Combat is how you get bones in this game, which is one of the ways you create sacrificial materials to sacrifice to the gods to gain favor and level up your tech tree. You need combat for meat. So, like, there's been times where I've been happy that the wolves attacked me. In fact, that happened last year in this game, like, not 30 minutes ago. I was happy that wolves attacked me because we got meat from it, which is helping my protein deficiencies. It's that kind of stuff. Red Fogel, do me a big favor. I love you. Don't make me do this. I don't like talking shit about RimWorld. I truly, truly don't. It doesn't benefit anybody. It just makes me seem like a dick. But when people try and, like, compare RimWorld to what Dwarf Fortress does, it just makes me kind of mad. And then I get stuck in a loop of just bitching. So please don't make me do this. I do it to myself, but I don't need your help. Like, now we're getting attacked again, probably. Fledgling lumber goblin, a distant howling. You can build giant wonders. Trust me, there's a lot of tech in this game I haven't seen yet. Like, stone and, like, forging, I haven't seen yet. There's some pretty big structures you can build in this game, and it's still very early access, right? Yay, wolves! Although they're just walking around my wall. That's a bit of a problem. Food delivery! Huzzah! Stab him efficiently, please. Become Wolf Slayer. Or in this case, become Stick Bonker. Get him, dudes. You got this. Hallelujah. We won't have a protein deficiency by the end of winter. By the end of winter. Whew. I mean, you can find... Okay, so this kind of shocked me. Which I know sounds like a dumb article headline. This game kind of surprised me when I found Dwarven Metal. We were joking about if this game has dwarves in it. I was like, I don't think this game has dwarves in it. Then I find Dwarven Metal, and it's like, well, I guess it has dwarves in it. That's fair, Splagus. All right, I might need to make a secondary butcher shop pretty soon. Good news is we've almost caught up with the wooden poles. So the reason I'm so far behind on wooden poles is because literally every tool requires a wooden pole. I think I might make 2 more of these shops, like finish this one and then immediately make another one. Because like currently there's 11, supposedly. But they're actually all just in this building, getting used to construct that building. Wait, is what what, Dwarven Metal? The only place I found Dwarven Metal is in ancient abandoned ruins. So I don't know if there's any dwarves even alive in this universe. I don't know enough about Finnish folklore, I'll be honest. By that I mean I actually know literally nothing about Finnish folklore. There we go, we're now up to 11. Yeah, we still have 11, so. There's my other carpenter shack, and they're currently making, you guessed it, probably, a wooden pole. I can make wooden buckets. Let's make 10, or maybe 5. What else can I do now? Slats? I don't know what slats are, but I also can't make them yet. So there's that. There we go. We get another carpenter's shed. Well, I know that Noita means witch. That's about the entirety of my knowledge of Finland. And they roll R's in a very satisfying way. It's similar in that it was inspired by Dwarf Fortress in about 2009, 2010 era, and was originally an open source ASCII game. Aside from that, it's almost nothing like Dwarf Fortress. Aside from that, it's a game where there are multiple people in a town. That's about where the similarities end. It's closer to a god game. Something akin to, like, what it really reminds me of is something like Black and White. Or a Populous. I'm also going to plunk another guard shack down over here. It also has a demo that lets you play up to tier 4 for free. So if it looks even remotely interesting to you, just go try the demo. Because demo is free, and free is good. Can't argue with that. Actually, I need to see how many turnip seeds I have. I have 33. What Marry Me Chicken was to one of your friends and now you feel old? I've heard the term before. I have no idea what that actually is. So, congratulations. I just helped you feel older. Maybe chat can empathize. I can't. Haha, old person. Be old. I felt really old yesterday morning when I was sitting in my chair by a window, drinking coffee and reading the newspaper. And I just had this moment where I was like, man, I've earned my gray hair. I can't complain about it anymore. Like straight up. Guess I've earned my gray hair. I've solved my protein deficiency for most of them. Thanks, wolves. It's basically a dish that is your best chicken dish that you serve to someone at a date. Ah, I see. I never get calls back from dates, so that would be why I've never heard that before. I overheard a conversation the other day, which kind of made me chuckle, which was, this is a couple days ago, actually. Anyway, I overheard a conversation a couple days ago that made me chuckle, where there was this, like, group of girls sitting at a table where I was sitting at a bar, and they were complaining that people didn't text back quick enough. They're like, you ignore my texts for 3 days? You're never getting a response back. I'm sitting there going like, whenever I meet up with somebody or talk to somebody, I almost always text like within hours. Sometimes less than that, depending on the circumstances. One of my goblins became a fisher goblin. There you go. Learning skills, are we? And I literally never get responses. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Anyways, I shouldn't talk about my lack of dating life. Loves making chicken and dumplings. You should make chicken and dumplings. And then send me some, please. I'll take 2 orders. And I don't mean 2 individual dumplings. I mean like 2 orders of like half a dozen dumplings, please. If you could put apples in them, that'd be great. Apple dumplings are very nostalgic for me. I should make them apple dumplings. Apple dumplings are special.
Musical notes, musical notes, musical notes.
Musical boats. What? Corey, thank you very much for the 8th month. Welcome back. That could be potentially arranged. I feel like the shipping costs would make it not worth it. I'll just go to the dumpling place. There is a place that serves dumplings here called the... Elfie would really like the logo. It's like a very cute looking dumpling. I think it's called the comfy dumpling, I think? Cozy dumpling? I don't know, I've never been in there, but it looks good and it's got good reviews. It's just usually quite busy, so. You mean Embracer Group is remaking some of your favorite games? You're excited? I feel like getting excited for those is probably a bad idea. I would wait until... I love... This goblin here is working on wood underneath a pile of plant fiber and snow. And so he's literally just like hitting a pile of snow with a hammer. That's funny. If you're talking about like the Gothic remake, I wouldn't trust that. Magic goes up, and the snow melts. The graphics didn't live up to your nostalgia. You know, I have like no real nostalgia for black and white. I watched a friend. I have nostalgia for Populous. But I watched a friend play black and white for an afternoon once. That is my childhood association with black and white. And I have this memory of it being the coolest game ever, and I've watched, it's one of those games that people love to make retrospectives of, because games that are hard to buy or hard to install are usually the games that people like to make retrospectives of. So people love to make retrospectives of black and white and go back and talk about how it was good or it was bad for this reason or that reason or whatever. Because such is the way of YouTube in the current year. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of glad I don't have nostalgia for it. Because, like, that was maybe the first Peter Molyneux game that was, like, the writing on the wall of where his career was going. Where, like, it was the first game that Peter Molyneux made where, oh, you didn't, like, actually manage to make the vast majority of the mechanics you were trying to do. And then, like, the sequel was worse. Like, Black and White 2 is, like, kind of just not a good game in a lot of ways. Because they just never finished it, really. Black and white TVs? No. I love me some monochrome. Anyway, how you doing, Diaz? Do I have a newspaper delivery? No, I do not. But there is a local newspaper here that somehow isn't bankrupt. All of the local newspapers where I used to live went bankrupt. But I've been picking it up from I've been picking it up for two reasons. I've been picking up the local newspaper. Reason number one, because I have a thing that I want to paint, and I don't want to do it on, like, my patio or on my floor or on my table. So I've been collecting it to use it for that purpose. But I've actually been reading it because it's, like, kind of nice because I live in a small enough city now where, like, there really isn't any websites really actively covering where I live now. I mean, there's one, and I kind of don't like the presentation, so I just don't bother. Sure, I mean, so it's funny though, like, people were super duper let down by Spore. And at the time, people were also pretty let down by Black and White. Like, if you go and you look at, like, I wonder if Black and White is remembered more fondly. Like, I would say Black and White is a very important game. I think looking at it now, just academically, it seems like a game that's very important. Like, it's a game that certainly inspired a lot of ideas and drove quite a bit of innovation. However, what it didn't really do is succeed in all of the things it was trying to do. And I have this feeling that if Black and White came out 5 years later, maybe 10 years later, actually, is maybe a better statement, when YouTube was in full swing, I wonder if Black and White would have had a similar response to Fable 3. Or Spore, even. Do you think it got a pass because it was this super... Like, I think there's... Uh-oh, we're getting attacked by burbs. Bird meat! Yay! Hold on, I gotta queue up bird meat. See? Bird meat! I don't know how much meat they have, but... Bird meat! Excellent. Speaking of bird meat, do I need bird meat? Sacrifices? No, I don't. That's good. Stab them, please, before they kill all the plants. And then cook them. My farm worked. It attracted the burbs. Okay, this is funny looking. You kind of like sport, but anyway, like, now I would say once a week, somebody in my chat either is stating that they're playing Spore or mentions Spore out of context as a game they like. And as somebody who remembers the overwhelming public disappointment and anger around Spore, I find that astonishing because there isn't like a super active Spore modding scene or anything. It's not like it's not like how suddenly Daggerfall came back, you know? It's bizarre to me. I see some sort of terraforming in this game. Is there mining underground? No, so it's all surface level terraforming. But you can manipulate ground heights. You can raise it and lower it. As you can see, I've got a bit of a moat kind of going around over here. I've also like got this little hill. This hill was just kind of here. But I've certainly manipulated the ground around it as needed. You know, having gotten my hands on a few pre-builds of games over the years, if you're looking for a game to play, you probably wouldn't get that from that. Red Fogel? Because as with many things, like, I wonder how playable those pre-builds even were, right? Of the Haunted Shack of Electronic Arts? Certainly. Have I ever sat down and played a session of D&D 5e? Unfortunately, yes. Why? I don't like D&D. This is another conversation I have with my chat weekly. Distant howling. Are we getting attacked by wolves? Wolves is here! More food. Excellent. I've learned that I don't like D&D, and I am probably the problem. Oh no, I think that this goblin may die unless you run quickly. Run quickly, Gobby! These are much more dangerous than the birds. Whack him with big stick, please. Well, at least we got another one down over here. You'd give your life for a gate in this game? I've never heard that turn of phrase before, and that's very amusing to me. More interested in the tech than the playability? I mean, no, I'm not saying that you're a minority. I'm just saying, like, I don't think you... I'm just stating that I hope that you realize that you wouldn't get a playable product, most likely, out of that. What the hell is slime mold? Slime mold is septica. It's recognized from bright yellow color. It's formerly believed to be some kind of mushroom or sponge. The slime mold is an amoeba-like creature. All right. This game keeps surprising me with things I haven't seen yet, which is cool. I like that. I'm just going to quickly summon some ghosties. It's also cooking season. It's mealtime. The dog vomit slime mold. Please elaborate. Does it look like dog vomit? Why dog, where did I know nothing about this. What? Do I like this game? I wouldn't be playing it if I didn't like it. It's the reason I stopped playing Foundation. I mean, all the critters have little ghosts after they get killed. Even trees let out little ghosts. These are tree spirits that I keep summoning to help me. Once you're done eating up there, I'm actually going to demo this one. Really curious. How much are we up to now? We're going to get 243, and I need 229 to level up the tree. So we will level up the tree again, which is going to make new things grow, change the scenery, and get me more research points faster. So it just looks like dog vomit? All right. I mean, that's a fair descriptor, I suppose, if that's what it is presented as. Meanwhile, most of my goblins right now are just trying to uproot these friggin' stumps. Here's the thing. I don't have the social connections to play D&D. I've been forced to play D&D by a few groups in the past, and they were mixed to overwhelmingly negative. I think I'm the problem. because I've played with people that are allegedly very good groups. I think one of the reasons I like Dwarf Fortress is because it's kind of like playing D&D with yourself without having to deal with other stupid people. Apparently they're edible and can't be cooked. Well, I mean, it did refer to it as food. Some angry creatures are approaching. Oh, shit. Non-zombies. Humans? You know, has anybody here read Bone? Like the comic book? The most shocking thing to me about Bone was when people showed up. And that's how I feel right now. I'm mildly shocked that people showed up. Also, ghost carrying shrub is the funniest thing ever to me. It's like a sentient shrub. Get him! Kick his ass! Oh my god. They're dropping pitchforks! Hey Chad, I found your prized possession. All I need now is them to drop some torches. Actually, no, I don't, because then they'd set my place on fire, and that would be bad. I don't want them to bring torches, but that would be funny. I'm gonna say, is there more humans? I guess there's not. You love how they look like Celts? I love how they just look like taller, skin-colored, like, goblins. Oh my god! Okay, so this is the funniest thing I've seen so far. Look at this little guy! I know he's just hauling it to put it away, but like... that might be the greatest visual I've seen in this game yet. Just this little ghost with this giant pitchfork? What are you doing with that, man? Putting it away? Aw. Yeah, you're not wrong, actually. They kind of look like Asterix and Obelix. That's... Huh. They do kind of look like that. That's adorable. Yeah, I really like this game. It scratches an itch that I haven't felt in a game in a very long time. The need to play a god game. Also, did I lose any goblins in that fight? Oh no, I did. I lost Carpalo. Rip. Which means now I can make a convenient pile of rocks. Poor Goblin. Goblin bones discovered! Exclamation point. Well, that seems bad. Salute is the correct response, yes. But yeah, no, this is one of the reasons that I felt the need to stream this game. And this is me being silly, I guess, to a degree. But, like, this game released on Steam, and kind of nobody noticed. And I'm playing it, and I'm very compelled by it. And it's pretty rare that I play a game and I feel very compelled by it. And to put it simply, there's 5 people playing the game right now, including me. Whenever I see that, it just kind of makes me sad. When it's like, man, it's a very underappreciated little thing. And originally I was playing, what's it called? I was playing this little video game called Foundation, because I wanted to play a town builder, and I was very disappointed with that game mechanically and stopped playing it pretty quick. But I still have the itch. I still have the itch to play a city builder, and I went and started looking around. I was like, what is a game that like looked intriguing, but I just never got around to playing it? Let's make a hill. And so that's why I decided to go play this. Because I remember seeing emails about it. And then I bought it, and then after I'd played it for a chunk of time, I realized they'd sent me key for it back when they released it. Which now I just feel kind of silly about. Bob, what up? It's good to see you. You wish it was your job to play video games all day, Mr. Blank on YouTube chat? So go play video games all day. You just have to start somewhere. I did this and quite literally didn't get paid for it for like 2 years streaming daily. You just have to start. It's more of a god game, which is kind of neither. I would say closer to story generator in ways, but it's more of a god game. Like it's got a linear progression path. So, I mean, any game with a linear progression path, I kind of stray away from it being a story generator, but you could certainly generate stories from it. But it's more of a god game. I keep comparing it to Populous because that's what my memory is telling me it's kind of like. It's more about manipulating a crew of people into doing things to achieve a linear goal, which is level up your tree by burning sacrifices to the gods, keeping the gods happy, and using spells to help you do that. While also keeping your goblins from getting scurvy. It's got a demo though, so if like this game interests you, like visually or aesthetically, or what you see looks cool mechanically and you'd like to try it, it's got a demo which has 4 hours, or not 4 hours, the first 4 years worth of gameplay. So I would say just try it if this seems even remotely interesting to you, because you know it's free. Go try the friggin' demo. That's why it's there. It's nice to see a generous demo, I'll say. I wonder how long they're gonna leave that body there. Elfie, do you know what to do with human bodies? 'Tis midsummer. It's time for the sacrifices. Just gonna level up my tree. Let's get the vibes. But this game is pretty vibesy. I mean, it's not super hard or anything, but it does have some really neat mechanics. The whole like balancing nature versus your production, and it kind of almost trying to gamify Circle of Life in a way. Like, combat is something that you need in order to progress. Straight up. Like, you need things to die. The goblins can get really upset if they have certain deficiencies, including protein deficiency. And as far as I can tell, there's no way to get protein outside of fighting with wolves and birds. So you need to get attacked by wolves and birds to get protein. Unless hazelnuts give protein. I'm not actually sure. They might. I quite enjoyed Endzone, but you want to know why I've never gone back to Endzone? It's like Endzone was one of the last games I got sponsored to play. And having made like several $100s streaming that game as like a sponsored event, I feel weird playing it now. So I kind of just stopped. Also at the time I had a computer that it ran like I had a different computer when that game came out. And so I'm like I've been very hesitant to ever return to it or its sequel. But that was a neat game. I quite liked Endzone. But I'm saying that as somebody who got paid several $100s to play it. Nettles provides protein too? Okay, I need to... There goes the tree! Now more new plants are gonna grow. It slowly goes from just like a forest biome to being like a good biome because of all the blue grass that starts sprouting. Although I don't have a banjo yet, so maybe this blue grass is a scam. Finally fix our food problem. Did I ever build a new turnip hole? I know I deleted my old turnip hole. Did I ever make a new one? Or are they just like, no, they're just immediately eating them. I think I need a bigger turnip farm. Got 9 research points. What can I do? I need fertilizer for that to be useful. I could research dwarven tools. What else can I do? I feel like I should just do wooden armor. That's probably the most useful to me right now. That or whatever the hell hydraulics is. Which gives me a screw pump. Go figure. Never mind, this is just Dwarf Fortress. I lied. We can have a hootenanny? You're not wrong. We absolutely can have a hootenanny. Wooden armor it is. So I can now make wooden shields, plank armor, and ceremonial wooden shields. Shush game. Quit yelling at me about the fact that I can't actually make the thing I want to make right now. It's making me feel bad. And plank armor. I probably need to make a specific new shop for it. I need an armor crafter's workshop. I could have guessed that. Also, I've got more goblins. It's also called an armorer, not an armor crafter-er. Silly game. Doesn't even know what it's called. Okay, so I don't have enough kitchen space, so I need bigger kitchen. And I'm probably not going to get this done in time. God damn it. You know what? I just cancel this real quick. How big is this compared to you? So you're just a slightly longer version of this? Here's hoping I got enough poles for it. Because any goblin that misses the meal is probably going to get a deficiency, and they're all starting to get them now. It's also mealtime. Tisk tisk. So 7 goblins are going to miss mealtime. Man, at this rate, the goblins are going to miss dinner. Whatever are we going to do? You know, the camping goblin, Darian, is the worst kind of goblin. It's the goblin that you come around the corner and the goblin's sitting there with a spear going, huzzah! And then it stabs you in the head and you're like, God damn it. I'm building a whole town of them, damn it. Okay, so why is there just like wooden poles everywhere? Oh, it's because the bonfire gave up half. The bonfire finally quit. So when the bonfire is finished being remade, then they can deliver all the stuff. Looks like we've got wolf meat, mushrooms, we've got bloodberries, fresh fish, and water chestnuts. Better food variety than dwarves, I'd say. Except for this one. This one's got worse. This one's just got hazelnuts and fish. And this one's not even going to get a meal done. I said this earlier today, and I say this very tentatively because I kind of forgot what it feels like, Christeth, which is I think I'm happy. I genuinely don't remember the last time I felt that way, so it's like hard to like quantify as like an emotion almost. But it's good. Like I don't think I felt happy since like 2019. Like genuinely? Or like comfortable in a space maybe? Comfortable is maybe a better way to put it. Although, ask me that in 6 months once I've had to pay a mortgage. I may have changed my mind. But for now, it's good. I really like the space. It's nice to actually have, like, elbow room. there is a universe where you can send your gobos from this game to raid your buddies in Dwarf Fortress. That would never work. For the same reason Dust never worked in Eve. Also, the sun's going down, and I'm losing my green screen. Which means I just need to move the curtain. I just might need to turn the other light on once the sun's gone down. Rat row, yeah. What are they carrying? And they're moving it to stockpiles? I like how the tables look nicer. Come on, Goblin, go eat your food. I feel like an annoyed parent. Eat your dinner, you dumb Goblin! Man, that's a very high fertility. It always bothers me that clay is super high fertility, but they can't do anything with it. Come on. I also don't know what I'm supposed to do with the decaying human bodies just in the front living room. At least they disappear in 4 months. And here I was thinking, maybe I can sacrifice them? No. It doesn't look like I can butcher them. Maybe I could make a stockpile and put them far away from me where I don't have to stare at them. We'll just put them over there where I don't need to stare at them. Does food get randomly eaten or assigned? Not randomly. So food works in 2 ways. They seem to just kind of eat. They'll scavenge around for food. But they'll only get 1 item of food. Once per season, they have a feast. And that combines a bunch of different articles of food that are available. Which is how they get a good variety of food. If they don't get a healthy variety of food, they'll get sick. And they'll get deficiencies. So they can get protein deficiencies, they can get fiber deficiencies, they can get various different illnesses and massive debuffs on this. And if they get too upset due to their deficiencies, then they just go back to the underworld where it's nicer. So they leave. They kind of do the... there's, you know, in games when people are just... When your little... your little dudes are just like, man, fuck this shit, and then they leave. It's that kind of thing. So in order to make them eat, you have to make these kitchens. And then they go to the kitchen seasonally, and then they eat food based on what is available. How does human corpse slot into the production chain? Well, fertilizer? I was thinking I could just burn them, like, but I guess not. Let's just summon some spirits. They can assist you with the thisty. You might have written it into my journal. Or into your journal. You might have written it into your journal. I mean, hey, you know, whatever gets you through the day. For me, I don't know if I would say they look voxely. This game almost looked like Thomas in YouTube chat. This game almost, to me, visually looks like those games that are chasing PS2 era graphics, in a way. I kind of almost wish things were a little bit clearer than like the flat textures of like that style of graphics, but it certainly suits it. I think it looks good. I kind of wish they were higher res textures sometimes. Okay, so now I've got space for 60 goblins in the kitchen. Let's nuke this, let's nuke this, and let's nuke this. Or just this one. I suppose. Makes sense. Alfie. Okay, so now I have just barely enough. I think I'm going to make a little farm plot here. Did I ever make a nettle processor? I genuinely can't remember. There's a chunk right there that's just not plantable. Let's say nettle. Processor there. And then I'm gonna make another kitchen. Kind of don't like the way that looks. Why don't I do it this way? I have a different one, but place it like that. Let's also just clear flora, because then that'll unlock any new things I haven't chopped down before. They still haven't cleared that grave, eh? I have to do all these individually? I do. I also need to make an armor maker. An armor-er. You know, everybody talks about the armor-er, but nobody ever talks about the legger-er. Although everybody does talk about the leg-go. Now we're just waiting for the leg stop. I must be getting tired. I've been making too many puns. Oh, the dad jokes? Hey, look. I woke chat up. Like I said, I think I can make bad jokes like that now because I sit in my chair and look out the window and read the newspaper. Oh shit, they're actually harvesting the goddamn veggies. Oh my god. Also, why is the world collapsing? I know that might sound weird, but like, that hole wasn't there before. And like, just kind of appeared. Do I have to manually tell them to harvest these? Or am I an idiot? I guess I did kind of tell them to manually harvest them. But I've never seen them do that of their own volition, so. Also, I love them like becoming a little stack of them. That's cool. Man, that must irritate parents. What are the ghost-looking dudes? So every time you kill a tree, or damage the like natural space around you, it summons a spirit. And these spirits can help or hinder. Primarily they help. Using your shaman, you can be like, join me, my little minions, if you want. Or you can simply kind of ignore them, I guess. And when you ask them to join you, they can help you in several different ways. Currently, the only way I have that I can help them, or that I can make them help me, is I can make them, what's the word? Like haul items for me. But if you piss them off, and by that I mean don't have suitable enough sacrifices, it's not too hard to not have suitable enough sacrifices, but if you're not sacrificing stuff, then the spirits of the trees will make your stuff catch fire. The keepers of the river will make you not catch fish. And so the keepers of water get upset if you harvest too much fish but don't sacrifice ceremonial fish. The keepers of the trees get upset with you if you don't sacrifice ceremonial wooden stuff to them. And these are the number of unspent spirits I have. And as you chop down trees, you gain spirits, which are the random spirits floating around. And there's usually up to 20 spirits passing through the area of a camp. Spirits released from felled trees or slain enemies increase the total. And you can spend them by using this spell, I think. I can actually prove this. Yeah, see, now number go down. And then they help you haul thing. There's other things you can make them do later if you know, what's the word? Research the technology. And they haul stuff faster than your little duders. Mass deforestation it is then. We'll just make sure that you're, like, you know, sacrificing a good number of all random trinkets to your Biggie Mick and Chargeman. Just gonna produce a shit ton of blocks. Or not blocks, poles. That's what I'm gonna do. Poland is gonna be very proud of me. Oh my god, I need a ceremonial wooden shield. Shit. In order for the ceremony to be valid, I need a wooden shield. Let's just go 0. So when they finish making that one armor, then they'll make a ceremonial wooden shield. That sucks, Darius. But like I've said a trillion times while I was playing this game, if you're interested in trying this game, go play the demo, because it lets you play the first 4 years of in-game content, which is actually kind of a ton to do. And something must have decayed. Oh, did I? Oh, I see what I did. I think the gods are mad at me, chat. We have missed midsummer. I failed to have the right sacrifices ready in time. Which means the gods are probably going to get mad at me. I don't know what that's going to do. We'll have to find out. Which means food's probably going to be a struggle next year. So you've got fish. What do you have? Got mushrooms, bloodberries, hazelnuts, and fish. What have you got? You got mushrooms, hazelnuts, blackberries, apples. Your list is empty right now. Is this one of those situations, Darius, where you like don't have the ability to take a break? Because I feel that. There's definitely days where I'm at this desk for way too long. After you thought that you were done and you headed to get food. Oh, that sucks, man. Hopefully everybody can get a meal this year. I also lost the little text field down here. Wonder why that happened. May have hit a hotkey or something. Odd. It do be mealtime, though. Worried this little bloke over here, Mooley, ain't gonna make it to dinner. $430 points to next level. Yeah, we just need that their ceremonial shield. Well, good news is they're making the ceremonial shield now. You think you're done, but you're also on call? Right. Right. I wonder if investments are open. Hey, chat, investments are open, for those of you who care. You know, sometimes I wonder why I'm tickering around so much. At least we won't miss Midsummer next year. Tis very much fishing season. I'm a little bit worried about the fishing season. Oh yeah, and also when winter happens, don't ask why the the river doesn't freeze. There's a very logical reason for it, and they haven't told the game to do that yet in the code, according to the developers. So the river should absolutely freeze and absolutely will freeze once they've taught it how to do that. Oh shit, I haven't seen them in wooden armor yet. That looks kind of funny. Well, that's good. So when the enemies arrive with their pitchforks, we'll be more efficient. Let's go plank armor. I literally just need the one ceremonial wooden shield because that's what we need for next year. Goddamn needy gods. Does the river flood? Yes. And the first town I built, it washed half my town away. It destroyed all the buildings and washed all of the materials that I used to make the buildings upstream. It was horrific. I almost cried. I mean, I didn't, but I kind of wanted to. You can also make the water flow in certain areas. Holy crap, Tell and Artho, it's been a long time. I hope you're doing okay, dude. I do hope things have been all right. Well, I'm not sure what your name is on Twitch, but you have a good night, friend. Well, that's a stupid job thing, right? I mean, I figured when the way you said that it was just related to just real life stupid things, not necessarily job specific, but let's go grab some more ruins. Angry at the world? Yeah, no, I get you. Same. Have I watched you since? Have you watched me since I've moved, Talon? It feels like it's been like a month or something, but. Oh, it's Zelby. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. I get you. I get you. Especially because YouTube just straight up outs your real name half the time. I do want to say that the Tall Raven statue is one of the best techs. I love this thing. Time to Indiana Goblin. No, that makes sense, Dylan. I got flax seeds, so that's new. Then you demolish it and you get stone because it belongs in a museum and my farm fields. Let's just remove stumps over here. And once I remove these stumps, we're going to plant some farm fields over here. Since you're out of the house for 14 hours a day? So, I had a really busy month last month, and then a really busy month moving. Why are you out of the house 14 hours a day? What the hell's going on, dude? I do vaguely recall talking about job problems, but it's been a while. Also, Shy Pandemonium, congrats on that win. Just waiting for the ads to finish. Might as well keep things running, though. I really need to sort out the lack of foodstuffs. So can I just plant flax? I can. You heard 14 hours and that was it? Oh, yeah, that's fair. What? For what reason are you out of the house for 14 hours a day? I remember hearing that you were having work issues, but that was a while ago. Are you just job hunting or something? Like, what's going on, dude? Is all I said, really. Also, if someone's feeling quietly generous, you should give Telenartho a sub. Telenartho deserves one. I hope you get attacked by wolves or something. Food supply is going dangerously low. But yeah, that's all I asked. Telenartho was just... What's going on? What's up? Went from working from home to working in the office full time. 90 minutes to 150 minutes each way of commute time, usually on the higher end, plus 9 hour day, plus 30 minutes for lunch. 9 hour day lets you take every other Friday off. Jesus. So wait, you're 24. So, hold on a second. Including, like, breaks, you're doing more than 40 hours a week then. That's kind of fucked, especially with the commute. Yeah, that sucks, dude. I mean, it is smart getting to take the day off, but that's brutal when you account for the commute. That is absolutely goddamn brutal, dude. Unpaid lunch, but still, yeah, not sustainable. I mean, like, I can relate because the last time I had a real job, I had... Well, actually, towards the end of it, I had a much shorter commute. But the last time I was working full-time at a real job, I had a hour and 40-minute commute on weekdays, and then on Saturdays and Sundays, I had a 2-hour and 2.5-ish commute, because I would get to work 30 minutes early instead of like 5 minutes before my shift started on weekends. And it would take me 2 hours to get there each way. So I was doing like 5 hours of commuting per day on public transit If I wasn't taking public transit, it would have been about an hour each way. And I did that for about a year, and yeah, I kind of went nuts. No, it's not bringing the chat down. It's more like bringing up a discussion. I don't think that's bringing the chat down. It's only bringing the chat down if, like, everybody leaves because of it. Which I don't think is the case. I think it's just kind of reality. You know, honestly, it makes me feel like I should work more to, like, compensate for other people. Like, my job is, like, trying to give people some peace and quiet and a little bit of side joy, I suppose. Or, like, distraction, even. And the super dramatic music is just making that kind of funny. If I'm being honest. I do need to figure out how to position these lights so I don't look all washed out, though. Unrelated. Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good. Trust me, when I had that job, and I was... Admittedly, at the time, I wasn't streaming anywhere near as much. I was streaming about 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whilst commuting 5 hours. So I was, like, working 8 hours a night, commuting 5 hours a day. So that's, what, 16 hours? I would sleep on the bus, usually, which would net me about an hour and a half. And then I would sleep before stream for about 2 hours, so I was sleeping about 4 hours a day. I largely blame my gray hair on that era of my life. Yeah, it's like the Christian side hug equivalent of joy. It's like the one person who remembers that. You know the meme. Oh no, we've got a fiber deficiency and a protein deficiency. Did you just skip a meal because you're also hungry and thirsty? In the morning and streaming plus writing, that is? Oh, jeez, man. Yeah, I noticed that you weren't online, but, like, I don't know. I never want to, like, try and guess why people aren't online. I'm just going to cancel these jobs so that they can go eat. Cancel order. No. Can I not cancel it once they're actively doing it? I guess I can't. Hopefully they make it back in time for luncheons. That sounds like a building fire. Why is there a fire here? Improvised lean-to. Why is there an improvised lean-to up here? Did I put that there? Or did you just go build that? Huh? I must have built that, but I have no recollection of building that. At least they were able to clear all the stumps. I think it's kind of great, Tellen. I mean, it's got a good little demo connected to it, which has a lot of content in it. It's very generous for what it is. I think it's got some really interesting mechanics. It's maybe the most interested I've been in a game that feels like a God game in a very long time. And so that has me excited because it's very rare that I find a God game that I enjoy. It's kind of a genre that's largely gone. I should just click the build multiple tab for these. And that feels good. I like me a God game. And this is one of those that feels good, and it's rare that I like those. Usually they just kind of end up being a bit of a letdown. So this one is currently empty. Nobody's using it. So I'm actually just going to get rid of it. And then I'm going to go cancel all these orders. I'm just going to move this. You know, honestly, I don't want them to bring black and white. I think somebody should just go make a new, better game. Like, to me, black and white is one of those games that doesn't need to come back, really. But it's a game that some small independent studio should do their best to make an equivalent version of. Oh, that's the button I need to click. So we've lost some points to decay, meaning ghosts may come through? Because some food rotted. Now we're moving the other kitchen up to here. What? What do you mean you haven't made the ceremonial wooden shield yet? You made 10 of them. So haul 'em, you lazy doofuses. The fuckity. Is the campfire full? No. Not even close. Morning, animal. I'm gonna just summon some spirits. Get to work, you ghosties. Yeah, so now, because my food rotted, I've now got these ethereal undeads wandering through my town, which are gonna go yell at my tree and make my tree upset, and there's nothing I can do about it. Camping good? Animal? It's been an odd occurrence on Discord. Somehow someone saw ketchup is illegal and decided to post rather gross ketchup gift. Cool. And then leave the server? Yeah, I think that's normal moron on the internet behavior. Odd Realm updated? Man, Odd Realm makes me sad. I like Odd Realm so much, but because so many people have such a negative association because of how rough that game's launch was, it's like such an uphill battle to try and stream that thing. It bums me out. I don't quite need all these, just up to there. But that seems like perfectly normal idiot on the internet behavior, Stone. Also, good morning. I'm not sure if you've been here the whole time. Every time someone says God game. When I'm saying God game, I'm referring to Populous. Because that's the one I played. I never really played Black and White. Do storehouses get poles in them? Or do those need to go into this? Yes. Right. Except you're gonna forbid all except for wooden poles. Have we hauled the goddamn ceremonial wooden shields yet? Don't make me make a second bonfire, I will. I'll burn this whole town down if I need to. Odd Realm is the most Dwarf Fortress inspired game ever made, maybe. Except for maybe... It's like up there with No Warrior, where it's like, wow, you're really just trying to make Dwarf Fortress. But it had an extremely poor launch out of early access, which I largely think kind of demolished its real chances of continuing in the long term sustainably. I know the devs had to go get a full-time job. I don't know, that game bums me out. I will also say that Oddworld Abe's Odyssey certainly doesn't do it any favors, though. You've been here since 8 minutes into the stream? Alrighty, well, I just haven't seen you speak in a minute then. I kind of figured you'd gone to bed. We may actually just be out of space now that I'm looking at it. Although, that being said, I'm always amazed by how many people remember Oddworld's Abe's Odyssey is even a franchise. Yeah, I was reading the bonfire capacity backwards. Well, let's just make a third one. We're gonna have a big fire. Because we need a lot of culture points this year. So plunk down another Raven statue. That should be good. Could also probably hack down the trees in my house here. How many mushrooms are we collecting? I feel like I should also plant more turnips this year. We're gonna save less of them. I've got a shit ton of turnip seeds, but no turnips. And also, let's just plant turnips here too. I also need more housing. Turn up the heat. Yeah. Look at us repopulating the entire spirit population. The one thing that needs to happen is we need to not miss Midsummer this year. If we do, then I'm in trouble, probably. Because the population keep going up, but the tech doesn't go up on its own. Speaking of tech going up on its own, it's food season. And everybody's getting food. Or everybody's lacking in certain food types. It looks like they're bringing different foodstuffs over, so that's good. And hopefully by the time the population goes up, which is up here, I'll have some of these houses done. I'm working on this storage shed and then a bunch of simple sheds over there. Oh, shit. Come down to me, you stupid birds. I wish to eat your brains and consume your meats. Unless you... Okay. See you next time, Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, I've never played any of the Oddworld games. I do recall seeing videos of them on YouTube. I want to say it was Abe's Odyssey specifically that I remember. But I do recall those games coming out. I just never played them. Why didn't I order nettle leaf bunches? Maybe don't order 50. Maybe just like 15. Maybe... No, I can't do nettle seeds just yet. Man, the little guy with the suit of armor on just looks so funky. Look at him. I don't know where he's going or what he's doing, but... Patrolling, probably. Yeah, I almost feel like God games are like weird games to talk about in the current year. Because sitting here, what was the last good God game? What was the last good God game? Like the last God game that released some semblance of publicly. Like a game that people picked up and played that was made by a major studio. I don't know if I could... Like, there was that one Ubisoft made in, like, 2012. Like, I'm almost, like, stumping myself with this. Like, I don't even know. The Civ 6 is a 4X, not a God game. A God game is a, like, and this is why God games are hard to talk about. Because, like, nobody even really knows what a God, like, when I say God game, like, there's the one guy in the back with a beard who goes, black and white! And then everybody else goes, huh? Shut up, Grandpa. And then you move on with your day. Like, From Dust, that's the game I'm thinking of. True, Rios. Banished isn't a God game. Banished is a survival city builder. It's a city builder. You're clean shaven. Okay, Grandpa. Sorry. Yeah, I guess Rios. Rios is a God game. You know, actually, it's probably like Pocket God. Was like the last big God game. Or maybe World Box. Although I haven't played World Box, so I don't really know. Because I know that I think the Rios studio made another God game, and I'm blanking on the name of it right now. It was Godhood, I think? Yeah, but like this game wasn't exactly successful. Basically, a God game is a city builder where you have some control over your citizens, but the actual goal is to manipulate them using powers. If that makes sense. And they usually end up involving like land manipulation or other forms of interactions that isn't just go here, build thing. Oh, true. I never played Universe Sim, so I wouldn't know, actually. But, like, the last big mainstream successes of those games, I'm pretty sure was just, like, straight up Peter Molyneux's games from a million years ago. And punish them. Yeah, true, yes. Well, I mean, I could punish my goblins right now, but it wouldn't be very efficient. I learned that if you raise the land underneath a goblin, it sends them flying into the air. Like, this is actually more efficient, so I'll do this. Whee! Bonk. Sorry there, bud. You know, it's a good time. Surprise hole. It's the best kind of hole. It's just right now there isn't really any reason to do that. If the game gives me one, though, I wouldn't hold back. I would gladly send them to space any day they wanted. But yeah, basically, like, I guess a god game is just a game where you are an omnipotent force that has otherworldly powers, but you're trying to use those powers to play a city builder, basically. I've also never encountered these bogs. These have, like, different plants in them that can't be accessed anywhere else. Just gonna go mess with this. I wouldn't. See. The question was, what was the last? So Brian says Spore in the YouTube chat. I wouldn't. Spore is more of a sim. Spore is like Spore is a mini game collection. It's a survival game, a city builder, another survival game, and an RTS, and a space game. Chad, is it fair to call Spore a mini game collection? Nobody likes the space game. I would say that about most space games. Because most space games run into the problem of, yo, space big and empty and there's nothing in it. And also flying is confusing. But 10 goblins have arrived from the underworld. Well, there goes my food supplies. Good news is, it is summer, which means the tree is leveling up most likely. It's cool, I didn't need those food supplies anyways. I never played Sacrifice. I think I know about Sacrifice because I remember hearing Total Biscuit talk about Sacrifice. But I never played Sacrifice. Like, we were talking about this earlier, Magna. Spore is funny because Spore is one of the few games that I know of that people are coming around on now. That... And I was comparing it to Black and White earlier in that I wonder if Black and White came out in an era when, you know, YouTubers existed and were making YouTube videos about games. I wonder if people would remember Black and White fondly because Black and White largely failed to deliver on a lot of its mechanics, a lot like Spore, but was a fun enough toy box that people enjoyed it. I don't know. To me, I'll say this. Spore is the prequels, the Star Wars prequels of the video games industry. People who are old enough to remember it when it came out still kind of grumble and dislike it, and young people seem to like it now for some reason, and I don't get it. Like, I like Spore. It's like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. Because, like, I still... I would probably like Spore. I will never play Spore. Just out of principle. I refuse to, like, acknowledge that game in any real positive function other than kind of low-key making fun of it. Goddess is Terabad. The question was, when was the last successful, well-made, I'll even say, or, like, well-known for good reasons, God game? And I think it's probably Pocket God. See, you're smart, Ilmirin. I love the way the smoke looks in this game. It was hyped as the greatest thing ever, and it fell short and everything. Yeah, I guess so. What happened? The fires? Oh, I sacrificed to the gods and leveled up. Pleased the spirits and get more research points for it. Speaking of, I should go see what I can research. I could do spinning. I could do beams. What do beams do? Better storage and better huts. But what more interesting things can I do? I feel like I should just wait for improved farming. I wonder, what do I need for baking? Smoking, maybe? Yeah, let's do smoking. And then next year we can do baking, which gives me flour and seed meal. Which allows me to make smoked meats. I feel like it's dangerous to put that all the way over there. I kind of just want to... I have a little bit of PTSD for the last time I built a smoker in this game, and it set half my town on fire. I like beans. Beans is good. The thing that, like, honest, you know, I'll say this about Spore. Spore, when it came out, I remember there was this brief window where everybody was like, is it really as good as people say it is? Could it possibly actually be that good? And then it was, actually, maybe it's not that good. And then everybody realized how the DRM worked. And that made it, or, no, it was the other way around. It was, people realized how the DRM worked and were like, wow, fuck this shit. And then the people who did play it were like, actually, hold on, hold the fucking phone. Because that game had, like, some of the most intrusive DRM for the time ever. It basically was, you had a limited number of installs for the game, and it was extraordinarily limited, the amount of installs you had. It was like 3 installs per CD or something. You had 3 PCs in the house? Oh my Christ. And they didn't, and like, to their credit, they did end up removing that stuff at some point, but I remember that being the big deal. No, totally, which is why I'm convinced it might be the... See, the thing is, I was a child too when Spore came out, but I was already, like, annoyingly plugged into video games media at that point, so I was, like, I was reading reviews on, like, GameSpot and IGN. I was, like, actively listening to games podcasts and hearing people like Greg Kasavin talk about video games, who went on to found Supergiant, and make, you know, Hades. So, like, I guess at that point, I was just so deep in that shit already as a child that I was the annoying kid who was like, no, you cannot like this video game, and here's why, to my friends, which is why I didn't have many. You were working at GameStop when it came out? Oh, no. It was 1 player account per key. Oh, my God. But yeah, anyway, that's why I'm convinced that Spore must be the Star Wars prequels of video games. I really love the way the flowers spread. It's genuinely super cool. Like, as your tree levels up, just the lush plants just spread. How you doing, Clino? Actually, what's the fertility on the bog, I wonder? Oh, it's the same. I'm just wondering if there's any super high fertility areas that aren't clay. Because, like, clay is really high fertility, but you can't plant anything there. You're gonna go eat din-dins? Alrighty. I may catch you when you come back. I may not. Timing depends. Hold on a second. You know, I've never had unexpected Symphony of Destruction before, but I just did. That must have been a car driving by. Holy shit, that was loud. Suddenly I just hear Megadeth. I've never out of nowhere heard Megadeth. That obsidian shenanigans for the DF world was awesome this morning. I beg your pardon? What? What shenanigans? I clearly missed them. Oh, okay. So my brain was going in a different direction. Certainly, I know it was neat. Please land, Burbs. Please land. Try and eat my veggies. I want to stab you in the face. No? Okay. Yeah, I mean, aside from like almost like setting my PC on fire every time I try to launch it, it is pretty cool, Taylor. It is pretty cool. I don't want to just make more fishing huts, but I guess I have to. There are throwable spears. I haven't made it through the tech tree before, so... Yeah, no, there's archery. Still a ways off, though. It's a pretty plodding tech tree, I'll say that. I mean, I could grab spear thrower, which I have all the prereqs for. Goblins have learned how to make a spear thrower. Oops, wrong menu. This menu. Throwing spear. Eh? Okay, spear thrower and throwing spear. Okay, so a spear thrower is an item, and this is the ammo for the throwing spear. Got it. It's also something I have to assign manually to the goblins. I'll assign that when I get the chance. Why is something burning? I hear fire burning. Remember how earlier I said I was scared of making one of these? Well, about that. You're flying halfway to Atl Atl? Atl Atl? What's Atl Atl? Atl Atl boy? You guys have lost me. I'm presuming that's an airport code, but I'm confused. Chat, I'm tired. You're gonna have to... I just had Megadeth inflicted on me, and I'm tired, so I have no idea. It's all good. I've been streaming for 10 hours. My brain is pudding at this point. What are we doing? Guys? Are we okay? Store item, sure, but what item? I have several questions. I think that was a mistake, but it's okay. The water will flow away and hopefully not drown them. All right. What are you doing? You bloody wingnuts. Actually makes me wonder if I could slowly build a land bridge across the river. We're good here, guys. Okay. Kind of seems like I can. Maybe I should do that. Although I'll bet you it would flood horrifically once a year. Because every spring the river floods. It's a curious thought. So late autumn is the turnip harvesting season. I'm just staring at this until it's time to harvest the turnips. It may flood before that. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't tried blocking the river, so I don't know. I could try from the other end. That may actually be safer. Although I don't even have the points right now, so I'm attacked by something now, so that's good. I realize that that's a weird sentence to say out loud, but damn it, stupid humans. I was hoping for wolves. If I got wolves, then I'd be able to eat something. Or I'd have something to show for it. And instead, I'm just getting some silly pitchforks. And they're attacking me on during lunchtime. Zero respect. Absolutely zero respect. You're just gonna go off into the forest and murder my poor goblin? What did we ever do to you? Aside from existing. Oh shit. We can now see the spear thrower. No. With the quote unquote addle addle. That'll do it. Poke him with your pointy stick, goblins. There you go. Successfully poked. I really hope my food supply ain't gonna... Why do I hear burning? Okay, it's just them cooking. That's fine. That's intended burning. You don't want unintended burning, only intended burning. Unintended burning bad. We'll see you later tomorrow. We'll see you later tomorrow? We'll see you tomorrow, B-Luck. I can words. Just don't slip, like a animal sort of said. So a spear thrower is how you cheat at throwing in the Olympics. Got it. I'm not sure why there's just like a pile of food here. I hope they put it away. I mean, this guy's pretty empty. Yeah, they're putting it away. Go eat first, though. Silly goblins. This is like the best way of cooking ever. He just sits there with a hammer and smacks it repeatedly. Gotta tenderize all of those foods into pile of food sustenance providing mash. I'm sure it'll taste like chicken, whatever it is. Oh shit. That's actually reachable. Hard are the words that you speaketh here today. Also, the map is pretty big in this. Like, there is very much an edge to the map, but it's quite a large map. It's very much a sizable map. Got more flax seeds and more trinket, as well as some scrap iron, which is cool. It's quite the hill. I didn't realize there was such a huge hill right there. How are we doing on the sacrifices? Need 200. We've got 205 culture points in there right now. In order to level up, I only need 174. So we're actually good on the culture sacrifices for next year. And I've got 134 turnips. Hallelujah, I think. Let's clean some additional flora. Can I not? I guess I can't tell them to clear more of those, but good news is I now have a whole lot of turnips. Bad news for anybody who doesn't like. One of the researchers on the effectiveness of atlatls was interested in if they were used to hunt mammoths. So to get some field testing, he tagged along with an elephant cull to see if an atlatl could chuck a spear hard enough to do real damage. After the hunters downed an elephant, he went out to test it, only to discover that the elephant was, 1, only unconscious, 2, angry, and started charging the researcher, and the guy used the atlatl to put a spear through its sternum into the heart. Man, I was really hoping for the elephant in this story. Kind of disappointed, not gonna lie. Stupid researcher. The elephant did nothing wrong. Also, I was wondering why they couldn't get into this thing. They literally can't get through the tree. There's a tree in the way. Congratulations on a successful return, Elfie. Where'd that other shed go? This one's got space. Man, this is becoming a big little town. Like, genuinely. It's become kind of a large town all of a sudden. This over here, you need to get demolished. And we need to near the end of this year. Man, today was very educational. I learned what an addle is. I agree, Aqua. I think this game is very, very, very satisfying on the eyes. It's nice to look at. A stench of decay has wafted into the camp, and a bunch of zombies are doing the... They're doing the Pirates of the Caribbean thing. Well, they never saw this coming. What? God damn it. And here, I was like, I got this. Clearly not. I don't actually got this. Where are they going? I could set them on fire. Let's level the earth. So... Although I don't want to accidentally kill some of my goblins, although it would be funny. Just grab the thwack stick, okay? Do the big thwack. Oh no, they're gonna damage my fishing traps. Hit them! Hit them good! Hit them where it counts. Mostly in the forehead. It's okay, they're slow zombies. You can run around them if need. Also, good win, non-major nerd. What'd you have for dinner, Alfie, if I can ask? I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. I need to check. The bits and pieces are all floating away. Well, that's a shame. Although I just realized they're dropping dwarven trinkets. Huh. Today I learned about zombies. They drop dwarven stuff. There must be a necromancer tower nearby. I know what causes this. You had chicken and a stew of herbs? Ooh. I'm hungry. That statement, Elfie, just made me realize that I'm hungry. See, that was kind of what I was hoping I could do, would be to just cause some mass hysteria. I've almost fished this entire river, turns out. Somehow I'm barely keeping up on food stuff, though. Here's hoping this ain't too big. And currently it is big meal season. Exactly, ZLD. That's what I want to do right now. Don't mind the dead human in the driveway. It's fine. He lives there now. Although I will claim his stuff so that we can throw his body away. Claim items. Oh no, I'm out of fishing spears. Which bad? Hey. I don't know what that brrr sound was, but... I know my food is dropping. It'd be really nice if some of those, you know, big, large birds could just attack me. You might mind the dead human in the driveway. It's okay. You're not human if you live here. You're a goblin. The goblins don't seem to care so much. If I build more raven statues, would that help you not mind the, like, the dead human in the driveway? Whew, game no like that. Game no like that. But it's fine. Let's just, trick some souls to help me. Put stuff away for a bit. Game delicate Bab, got it. Got it. Human driveways. Just like human houses. Is that like a human speed bump? This is a grim piece of humor to fall into, but here we are. Okay, is there anything specific you guys need this year? I really hope they don't start demanding ceremonial bird meat at any point, because if they do... Birds just arrived, so now we can have it. But, oh shit. I have to reclaim my own throwing spears? That's unfortunate. I was gonna say, because I haven't been attacked by birds in I don't even know how long, but finally we've been attacked by birds now. Ain't that great? Excellent. No longer need to be as worried about the birds not attacking me. Drive cautiously. I mean, that's just like what most towns in Project Zomboid turn into after a while, right? Although those are more zombie speed bumps. All right, chat. I'm getting a little loopy, and this city has grown considerably. I mean, it was about yay big, and we haven't even finished the wall the last time we finished up this little here town. So I think now is a good time to save. And, or just save and quit. I kind of hoped that we go to the main menu, but it didn't. So chat, I've been live for 10 hours and 10 minutes, and I'm tired, and I need some food. So I'm going to go eat some food and call it. YouTube chat, I'm shutting you down now. Thank you very much to those of you who stuck around. I mean, I'm kind of surprised how many of you did, actually. So thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow for me trying to unbreak my broken minecarts, which will be a good time. And tomorrow, if I have the energy, we'll do some more of this. Otherwise, regardless, thanks for chilling today, YouTube folks. We'll see you on the flip. Twitch chat, go buy this game. Or don't. Go try the demo, at least. This game's cool. We're going to go find somebody to raid. Be what we going to do. Unfortunately, there's nobody streaming this game that I could go raid. But who is live that we could go raid? Let's see. Also, hi, Deep Space. It's good to see. It's good to see yous. I hope yous doings wells. I'm scrolling around and taking a peek at who's on and doing the things. and trying to quell my hiccups. Apparently I have hiccups. Seems like everybody's playing demos. Demos, and more demos.